emotional win like the Rams did against Tampa, they had a letdown.
Yep.
They had a letdown.
Yeah.
Listen, you might see it with New England this week.
Yeah.
I mean, not that they'll still beat Houston most likely.
Right.
But, they played the game of their lives and still came up short on a 55-yard field goal that hit the upright from Folk. I mean, they did everything they could against Tampa. And if it wasn't raining, we were both wrong on that game. We thought Tampa could name their score, and they couldn't. Gronk did not play. Who knew he had broken ribs and all the other shit he had?
Right, big sissy.
Yeah, soft.
Such a bitch.
But you know what? That game was closer than we expected it to be.
1,000%.
But does that mean that New England has a letdown? Tampa, I think, won't because, A, they're playing Miami, so it's a state thing. And number two is they didn't play well.
Right.
While New England played great and lost.
Which means it could be like a 40-point spread, and you might still take Tampa right now.
Exactly. I mean, but we thought that last week, and it didn't really happen.
Yeah, but it's Miami. Let's take a look at the receivers from last week. Top point getter, Tyreek Hill, 54 points in our league.
3 touchdowns again.
186 yards. He had 12 targets, 11 receptions.
You got to love the way, teams don't feed off the other. I mean, they can't change the defensive schemes, but you see the way other teams have been defending Tyreek Hill with the deep zone, so he can't get deep. Mm-hmm. The Eagles just kind of played a lot of man. I didn't understand what they were thinking, but you know what? I mean, that's their scheme. That's the way they play it. You're not going to cover Tyreek Hill man on man.
And now taking a look at maybe if you're looking ahead for your bye next week or whatever, at least in our league, who's available? Randall Cobb. He's done
a touchdown. He caught a touchdown last week. 2. Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's right.
He's done nothing, though, until this week.
No, he did not do anything. But Green Bay was a little bit, they're starting to get their stride a little bit. They also signed Jaylen Brown this week.
Right.
Now, again, I know it says, well, he's the backup linebacker for the Cowboys. No, Green Bay needed that.
Right.
Green Bay needed that linebacker that can make plays. He's going to help them a lot.
Then you look ahead, Van Jefferson. He had a big game for the Rams this week.
And he's someone that's free.
Yeah, 21 points.
In almost every league.
Yeah, these are the guys.
I think he's free in about 74% or something like that of the leagues.
What is it? Khalif Raymond from Detroit.
Yep.
I don't even know who he is.
Well, the thing is, Detroit doesn't have really that go-to wide receiver group. They have Ramon St. Brown. They have Khalif Raymond. Mm-hmm. I mean, these are not household names. Best receiver Williams is hurt, so they have to wait for him to come back. Speaking of Williams, by the way, if you watch the Chargers play at all, that team looks for real.
Yeah.
I mean, Eckler's a stud.
Right.
Okay, he really is just a premier running back. But then you throw Keenan Allen and you throw Williams out there with them. And Herbert just throwing dimes. That team's good. Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. You know what? Let's kind of move on into that because, of course, that is the Thursday night game. We are recording on a Thursday. So another guy to keep an eye out for, though, John Ross for the Giants, because it doesn't look like Shepard's back this week. It doesn't look like Slayton's back this week.
No,
or they're going to be iffy. Other guys that could help you, maybe
Tony and Ross are guys you have to look at.
Maybe not next week. If those guys are back, they're not going to get the looks that they've been getting the last week or two. But maybe somebody you want to stash in case you need a receiver next week.
Well, here's the thing. You think Dallas is going to score against the Giants, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
I do, too. I think the Giants will play with them, and I think that means a lot of points scored and a lot of passing.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see. But again, all of a sudden, I'm expecting Daniel Jones to play well 2 weeks in a row, which I've never seen. You're a Giant fan. You watch.
He's actually been playing well the last couple of weeks. He's been playing good.
He never puts in 2 halves. Last week was the first time I've seen him do that,
right?
Which was impressive to me.
But we'll see what happens. I'm expecting a big game. I expect Jones to have big numbers and stuff like that, only because he's going to have to. And we'll see if Dallas can stop Saquon. But once again, not that they're great, but you've got the 2 tight ends for Dallas, Schultz and Jarwin, who have never, but Schultz got a couple of touchdowns last week.
Jarwin got one too.
And those are the killer spots. That is where the Giants really stink.
They did not cover the tight end well.
No, they cannot cover anything between 5 and 15 yards from the line of scrimmage, and that's what's killing them.
The funny thing last week, watching, because a lot of people like Carolina, a lot of people like Dallas, it was one of those split games. Mm-hmm. Darnold leads the league in rushing touchdowns, which makes you laugh. He's got 5. And you never saw that with the Jets. He was running hard. He threw the 1 pick. But, I mean, you're wondering what that game would have looked like with McCaffrey. Nothing against Chuba Hubbard.
Right.
But what that game looks like with McCaffrey, where Dallas's defense is completely like, what the hell do we have to do here?
Right.
It would have been a very interesting thing because DJ Moore is a stud.
Yeah.
I thought he'd be good, but he's great.
Yeah, no, DJ Moore.
And Robbie Anderson's invisible.
Yeah.
And that was it's Darnold to Anderson. They know each other. He's throwing the ball to DJ Moore every time.
Well, they don't have breakfast every day, so.
No, unlike Cooper Kupp and Stafford.
That's right.
Well, speaking of Cooper Kupp and Stafford, they play tonight.
Right. And one more thing quickly. Chalk is out. DJ Chalk, the only guy that really that Lawrence had to throw to.
Chalk.
Shut up! Just shut the hell up!
Chalk.
F you.
Laviska Shenault had a good game. He almost had 100 yards last week.
Yeah, which is good.
And we told you he was going to be pretty good.
Right. But, he's out for the season now. I mean, it just makes the Jaguars...
Yeah, Chalk is gone. He broke his ankle. They rolled over on him.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Shenault, Marvin Jones. That's kind of who they're throwing to over there. Marvin's been hurt, too. When he comes back...
Urban Meyer's getting the table dance. Woo!
The Jets have a better record than somebody. It's exciting.
Yeah. What coach stays behind and lets the team go home so he can stay and get table dances from people?
He's a nut job.
Oh my God! Apparently during
Nick Saban last year. These coaches that think they're geniuses and smarter than everybody.
Yeah.
Nick Saban last year when he's like, I didn't realize it was a presidential election day.
Yeah.
This is what we deal with these guys that think they know better than everybody else. They make me laugh.
When they broke the, I think it was on Wednesday when they broke after practice ended. They all got together, a little talk, and I was like, 1, 2, 3, grind.
It's so ridiculous. It's true, though. You're right.
That's what they did. So, anyway, you were saying we've got a big game
Be
tonight.
Stunned if the Rams don't bounce back tonight. I don't think Seattle's D is all that good.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be stunned if the Rams don't bounce back tonight offensively. I'd be stunned if Stafford doesn't play well. Listen, you expect Seattle to move the ball
right.
also, but Carson's banged up, so you don't really know. He didn't practice all week. Don't know if he's going to play tonight. I'm expecting he won't since he didn't practice. So all of a sudden, Seattle becomes a little bit more. Not that they don't have guys you could play, but I would lean toward the fact that they're going to be throwing the ball with Russell.
Right.
I mean, basically, we're not telling you anything you don't know here, but I expect the Rams to really bounce back big, and I think that the one guy you could look at in this game is Seattle's tight end Everett going back against his old team. I'm sure Pete Carroll will try to get him the ball a little bit.
Right.
I would expect that to be not necessarily your high-end tight end normally thought of, but he would be a guy that if you don't have one of the elite 4 or 5, I'd start Everett.
Gotcha. And by the way, Alex Collins is the backup.
Yeah, he's going to be the starter tonight.
So
he
we'll
should play, I would have to imagine.
Yeah. Anyway, I got to tell you, if you're looking at the game tonight, I just can't see Seattle falling that far behind.
Well, what's the spread? 2.5 right now?
Is that what it is?
It's 2.5 in Seattle. Seattle's a home dog.
Right. Which
is kind of weird in this matchup because Seattle, I don't remember the last time they were a home dog. So this is a little bit interesting.
Coming off a win.
No, absolutely. And Seattle's a pretty good team. The Rams coming off a loss. I just think that the Ram win over the Bucs has given everybody that thought that the Rams are just great. And they are really, really good.
Yes.
So now you're going to have Jalen Ramsey against Metcalf tonight, which is going to be worth watching.
Yeah.
It's as good a matchup as you're going to get. And if Ramsey wins that matchup, the Rams win the game. If Metcalf does his share and gets his ball, because Lockett's going to play, they say, and Lockett's going to be fine. And Collins is a step down from Kyle Carson, but not by much.
But do you think Lockett has a big game because they're trying to shut down Metcalf?
I think that he does. I think that that's the guy. But Lockett is always going to be that guy that's going to catch that lollipop home run ball.
Yeah.
He's going to get you that 40-plus yard touchdown almost every other week.
Let me write this down. I got him. Because I've been going back and forth.
I would play Lockett. I'm going
to play him. I'm going to sit.
You're going to blame me when it goes wrong.
You know what? Maybe I'm nuts. I'm going to play Tony.
Why not?
I'm going to give Tony a try. I'm going to sit T. Higgins, coming back after a couple of weeks off. I'm going to sit T. Higgins against Green Bay and try Tony.
Well, T. Higgins is not definitely playing anyway.
The way he's been practicing.
He's been practicing more. He's limited. Yeah. Well, you don't know if he's a lock. But
and he's
listen,
the guy.
I'm playing Ty Johnson this week, so I'm not making fun of anybody's playing. And I have to out of necessity. It's either him or Darrell Williams of the Chiefs as that second running back.
Wow.
So that's how bad it is.
Unbelievable. So, this week.
Yeah.
We look ahead to this week.
Yes.
Give me a couple of games that you're really, really keen on.
Here's the thing. Green Bay, Cincinnati. I think Green Bay could struggle. I think Cincinnati's D is pretty good.
Green Bay has been struggling.
I think Green Bay's offense could struggle. I think it could be a tough day for Green. I mean, listen, Devontae Adams is going to catch balls, and Rodgers is going to be that guy. I don't think they're going to put up a lot of points. Right. I could be wrong, but I think Cincinnati's defense is going to make that game a game in the 20s.
Which is fantastic because I had them last week because they played so good. I got 1 point from them. Thank you.
I think that they're going to be much better.
Do you think Devontae Adams is going to have a problem, grabbing his balls?
He could. It could be an adjustment.
Okay.
It could be an adjustment. I think Minnesota, Detroit. Minnesota was held to 7 points last week.
And we're sitting there saying, oh, Cousins, look at Cousins. He's doing great.
If they don't score 30 this week, I'll be stunned against Detroit's defense, which is not very good.
Yeah.
Now, Detroit bounces back with a couple of guys this week that didn't play last week. So it's a little bit different for them.
So disappointing, Detroit. I mean,
Trey Flowers comes back, helps them a little bit on defense. But they've lost cornerbacks. They're really banged up.
But I really, especially coming off that tough loss, I really thought they would bounce back. But they weren't even in the game last week.
No, I mean, but here's the thing. Goff puts up numbers. Better than I expected him to do. Without a wide receiver you've ever heard of.
Right.
And with a running back by committee, with a backup guy like Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift, who hasn't really taken the bull by the horns yet.
Right.
And they move the ball. It's like watching the Jeff Hostetler Giants. Move the ball up and down between the 20s and settle for 3. But now, in this day and age, they don't even do that. They go for it on 4th down, and they fumble.
Nice.
That's who the Lions have become. I think Minnesota's going to have a really big game. I think your Jefferson and Thielen and Dalvin Cook and all these guys are going to play really, really well.
Would you pop in a KJ Osborne if you needed him?
I would. I mean, I don't think because it's not a bye week, I wouldn't necessarily do it. But due to injury, I would play KJ Osborne this week. And Conklin has become a guy you have to rely on as a tight end right now.
Right.
That's really what it comes down to. I know they traded for the Jets backup tight end, but he can't get on the field because he sucked here.
Yes. Yeah.
New Orleans, Washington. New Orleans has been better on the road than at home. It's really an interesting thing. I think McLaurin still plays well and Heineke still plays well and all that stuff. If the Saints get the 2 offensive linemen that didn't play back, the center and the left tackle, I think the Saints, though, will move the ball a little bit. Jameis is like an every other week guy, and the Redskin defense, the Washington football team defense,
right?
No offense to any Native American. As Bill does that. But, the whole thing was that their defense, which is supposed to be top 5 in the league, has been horrible. So that one stands out to me.
And McKissick had a great game. I mean, last week.
And he's hurt, too.
Yeah.
Not a guarantee he's going to play.
Oh.
And Gibson's hurt. So I don't even know who they're giving the ball to right now in Washington. It's going to be interesting to see. But I mean, listen, I think both of them have a chance to play. I'm not saying they're not going to, but if both of them can't play, Washington goes way down the roster.
I mean, you really haven't seen them around town that much, but I heard Kamara Harris might be actually the running back. She's got to do something in DC.
Yeah, she's done nothing.
Where is she?
Who, knee pads? I digress.
We have digressed.
Yeah, I mean, listen, a guy I love this week?
Who?
Cameron Brate.
Yeah, well, that's
I really do. I think that Tampa Bay bounces back offensively. I think Miami has good corners and cover really well, which will make it a little more exciting for Evans and Godwin and stuff. And I think Brate will be open all day.
Is that why you have him on your team now?
I picked him up this week.
I know, I saw that.
I dropped Engram, who teased me, and he'll probably have 4 touchdowns this week, and did that. And if I was going to pick another game that we talked about, Dallas and the Giants, I think you like the over and you like the offensive players in that game. Right. Also, Sunday night game will be fun. Kansas City, Buffalo.
Yeah.
This is like
Does Kansas City play any games like at 1 o'clock?
Last week they did, but that's the only one. Yeah, they play Buffalo at prime time because people want to see that team.
Yeah.
Because they just throw the ball around the yard. They're kind of fun to watch.
They are a lot of fun.
They really are.
You know what?
By the way, so just talk about last week for a second. Bush League for Baltimore to try to get that record of 100-yard rushes. I mean, 3 seconds left.
No.
I thought it was the cheesiest, cheapest, stupidest thing I've ever seen.
No.
John Harbaugh is a douchebag.
I understand if you threw a bomb down the field.
You ran the ball with your quarterback.
Yards.
You know what he deserved? Injury.
Wow.
Harbaugh deserved for somebody to get hurt doing something that stupid.
You
kneel on the ball.
You are a South Pole elf, dude.
He is such a douche.
You are angry.
John Harbaugh is such a douche. That is the most Bush League thing I've seen in a while. I was like, really? So you could have the record of 100-yard rushing games? They stopped you. You didn't get there. Yeah. Now with 3 seconds left, you have to sit there and try to run it up just so you could get your 4 yards and get out of there? I thought that was so cheesy to keep a record going. It was like when Baltimore canceled baseball games so Cal Ripken could keep his record going.
That was really different.
Baltimore twice now. The Orioles.